Hello guys, welcome back. Now we have the Marsha kit, and I have to say it is pretty insane. I don't know what's happening recently in the game. Like this is completely different than how it used to be. We went from I'm skipping this character to I am skipping this entire meta, entire team, because like you can't skip these characters if you're going for their meta. And as you will see in the video, this character is really good. Really good. Very, very, very good. And it is for a Lingering Glow team, so it's gonna be for Beryl and Isolde. There's literally the only 3 characters with her included that are working like this. And besides that, she gives literally everything. So let's go with order by reading her inside and then the kit, but it's ridiculous. You'll see with time. Now, first of all, let's go with the inside. Obviously, she is Beast, 6-star. I zero. I guess when an enemy inflicted with burn or halo increases lingering glow. Starting with that, this cannot coexist with blood tide. It's just like a preset just to tell you, look, you can't use it with blood tide. This concept. Now I1, when Marsha enters battle, gives all allies a shield. And that's not the only time when she gives a shield. And any ally with this shield increases damage resist. Now it's probably maybe not the same number as a sturdiness, but the shield also gives you sturdiness, which is even better than just a shield, because you're also taking less damage, so the shield is going to deplete less, and it's gonna be one of those situations where you are very tanky. So acquire Daylight Prayer based on the number of Lingering Glow allies. We'll see what it is, Daylight Prayer, in just a second. At the start of the turn, dispel all control status on all allies, gives all allies pardon, and gives self battlefield first aid. Now, this is basically almost like Hiperina, besides the shielding. Like at the start of the turn, she is going to dispel only control, obviously, gives pardon, which is gives basically an immunity to control status on every ally, and she gives herself battlefield first aid, which we'll see what it is. Which is when any ally is attacked, consumes it to release silent weight, which is her S2, which is a shield. So it's basically almost working the same way as Kiperina, where like at the start of the turn she shielded and dispelled. In this case, she will not shield automatically unless somebody is attacked, but she will gain the battlefield first aid on the start of the turn, dispel the control, and give 1 immunity with pardon. So we are already like at this level. And I just read I1. I2 is increased crit rate. I3 is when consuming the battlefield first aid, which is she is gaining every turn, she will give herself compensation of pain, which is a increased crit rate and crit damage. Hold on that for later. At the start of the turn, she will inflict all enemies with burn. So it's already like irradiating burn to everybody. When entering battle, or when Marsha's attack crits, or when consuming battlefield aid, which is multiple times per turn, including the aid triggers at least once. What Marsha crits could be critting because you are getting crit rate and you're getting compensation of pain. And then also when entering battle, which is like you start with it, she will increase self moxie. So she can auto give herself moxie just by existing almost, and also when attacking and critting, and when using battlefield first aid, which at the very least is going to be once a turn, if you get hit, which is probably almost every turn. Overflowing moxie will also be stored temporarily, so she can overflow the moxie and it will be replenished if there's space at the end of the turn. Now, what is Daylight Prayer, which is something that she gets based on the number of Lingering Glow allies. So Daylight Prayer is going to be probably a status check that checks how many Lingering Glow allies there are. And this is why it says 3, because there are only 3 in the game. Increases Lingering Glow when Lingering Glow is accumulated. So she will boost the lingering glow acquisition, when you are gaining lingering glow, she will probably add more on top of it, basically. And this is why it says 3. When there are 3 lingering glow allies, increases the maximum stack of burn on enemies, as well as increase crit damage for all allies based on the current lingering glow at the start of the turn. So she's giving crit damage on top of how much you have, like based on how much lingering glow you have, and at the same time, if you have 3 lingering glow allies, which you will, barely so than her, she will also increase the maximum stack of burn on the enemies. Now, burn, one of the reasons why burn was bad back in the days, still bad, because we replaced it with glow, with lingering glow, with the halo. But one of the reasons why burn never took off too much as a method of damaging is because it didn't, or as check for certain characters kit, is because it was very short. You only had 30. And it would like half itself every turn. So I don't know how big this increase is going to be in terms of like how's the max. Is it going to be like 50 burn? Is it going to be 100 burn? Probably not too much, right? But it's going to be really good. Higher stacks is going to be helpful for the characters. So this is another like huge thing that she does with the Daylight Prayer. So now we have everything that she gets herself from the insight. Let's go check the skills. Now, skill 1 is Moral of Restraint. It's a single reality damage. When hit, inflicts burn on target. This is probably maybe a mistype, like when you hit, inflict a burn on a target after attacking, you give yourself compensation of pain, which again is an increased crit rate and crit damage. I don't know if you can stack this multiple times. Maybe you can, and in that case, that's insane. If the target has a certain number of stacks of burn, which is going to be easier or made easier by the Daylight Prayer as well, deal extra reality damage. I don't know if it needs to be burn or if it can be halo as well. We'll see. She also deal extra reality. I don't think though this is going to be something that we're going to rely on, because it's going to be a more of a sustained angle when you use the character. You are going to use her cards here and there, but you know, you do want to crit because of thanks to compensation of pain, because you can overflow Moxie, but still, you know. Now, S2 is Silent Wait, which is what you are auto-casting when you consume Battlefield First Aid when an ally is attacked, right? And this is what you will be casting automatically, at least once, right? Because you can only get Battlefield First Aid once, I believe, per turn. Mass Buff gives all allies shield. So it's basically Kiperina in that instance. When actively cast, if you do it yourself, the card, it will consume a Battlefield First Aid to further increase the shield multiplier and dispel all negative status and stats down on all allies. So automatically she will cleanse control, and then if you do Silent Wait yourself, you will cleanse literally everything else. So and bigger shield. If the target already has a shield, it will stack on top of the existing shield and extend the duration of it. Allies with this shield increase damage resist. So like again, you are getting this damage resist. I don't know if it was gonna work like sturdiness when you are getting like 25%, and it can stack on the amount of. It can accumulate the amount of stacks and stack the stacks. It sounds weird, but yeah, you know what I mean. I don't know if you can do that. Probably just like the same damage resist that like increases the duration, but it's the same amount. Alt, advice to the violent, gives herself compensation of spell pain. Again, I don't know if it's gonna be like multiple stacks or whatever. We'll see. Then mass reality damage to all enemies. Again, that's another instance of where like the alt on the trailer didn't look like it did any damage, but I guess it does. So once again, it's another Marcos situation where they literally looked like it didn't do anything to the enemies, but it's damage, I guess. That's why I didn't guess anything on the trailer, because you never win, because it looks like something, but in reality it's something else. That aside, when this hits, probably, I don't know why it's like, I guess it's like a translation. When you hit the enemy after they hit, inflicts burn on the target. So more burn on them. Nice. After attacking, consumes the compensation of pain to give all allies training. This is why I said, like, remember compensation of pain for later. This is on the ultimate. When you're attacking, you consume whatever you have. So I'm more keen to assume that compensation of pain is going to be a stackable buff that you have on yourself, and then you use it a little bit by on here to give training, or it's just something that you have once and you need to be careful when you are consuming it. And just besides that, you are still getting one automatically from the ultimate, so maybe you don't have to worry about it too much. If it doesn't stack, you will be getting compensation of pain at the start of the ultimate to then use and give a live training. It could be that as well. What is training? Training is increased crit rate for everybody. We don't know how much, probably like maybe 10, I don't know, 10, 20. The 20 would be crazy. And overflowing crit rate turns into crit damage, something that like we used to dream of early on in the game life, and now we're getting like out the wazoo constantly. Increase incantation might and crit damage based on stacks. So you can have increased incantation might and crit damage based on stacks of what? Of training? In that case, that will imply that you can get multiple stacks of training, which also implies, I think, in my opinion, that you can get multiple compensation of pain. So my guess was right. Maybe. We'll see. So this is... This is a support. She doesn't heal, but all of the shielding that you can do either automatically after getting attacked. So that's important to know. I need to check. Well, we're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna pull the characters, obviously, but because I am doing Lingering Glow on CN. But the problem is, like, how is it going to work for the for the damage mitigation? Is the damage mitigation going to linger the same at the same duration of the shield, or is it going to be longer? If it's longer, or if you can get multiple stacks and it gets longer, then you can sort of mitigate like all the time, which is even better. Or if you're going to be exposed before you trigger the battlefield first aid, which is the shield. So we're going to have to see like how long is the shield. It doesn't say. Gives a live shield. If it's like 1 turn or 2 turns, now it mentions being able to stack on it, which doesn't necessarily confirm that it's multiple turns, but it could, if it is multiple turns, like if you're going to have a lingering shield from the previous turn that you didn't break, and then you do Silent Wait, or you get attacked again, and you do Battlefield First Aid, which automatically casts Silent Wait, that would be even better if it lingers, in my opinion, but we'll see, because this is a little bit too crazy. Now, it's not going to be full shield every day. There is a chance where like the character doesn't provide shield every turn. Like you cannot get hit at all, like Hiperina does. But it's gonna be very close, and you have basically in exchange you have all of this clearing and cleaning and getting 1 pardon immune and getting dispelling everything, you know. Plus buffing allies and getting like Lingering Glow up and getting more burn and getting like compensation of pain that gets converted into training, that gives you crit rate and overflowing and incantation might and crit damage. So this is like a hybrid which is not completely bunkering down, but it's also buffing everybody else. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you pulling for Marsha? Are you waiting for her? I will be making a new pull plan because this is getting a little bit ridiculous. You cannot skip anybody else anymore. You cannot skip a character anymore. You need to skip the entire archetype. So I'll give you some pointers in a future video coming very soon. Robuska guide is gonna be on Monday, and thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and see you next time.